Alright guys, so in this video, I'm going to go over the 3 main reasons that your gecko may have a wavy tail, just like this girl. So the first main reason is a growth spurt, and this is pretty common because they all go through it. So chances are, if you have a gargoyle gecko, you're going to see one with a wavy tail like that. All this means is, they're growing fast and their body, their nutrient intake isn't keeping up with their growth. So it seems like they will pull some of their nutrients from their tail, and that's what causes that waviness. So all you need to do when it's something like this is you just need to make sure you're on top of consistent feedings for the powder diet, and then also offering calcium dusted insects. That's really important because usually what that is just a lack of calcium even during their growth spurt. So something that I will do is I will make sure if I see that, obviously offer, normal Pangea or whatever you use for feeding, and then also just give them dusted insects, or if for whatever reason you don't have access to insects, mix in a little calcium into their Pangea. Just a tiny amount. You don't want to go overboard on it, especially if they're tiny. Too much calcium can also be a bad thing as well. So when you're doing that, only do it about once a week or twice a week. Don't do it like every feeding or anything like that. Just keep it real simple. Just mix in a little powder, or if you have that liquid calcium, just mix in a little bit of that in there. She's acting a little crazy. And then that will help straighten it out. About a week ago, it was more bent than it is now. So just making sure I was up on, she actually didn't take any insects. So just making sure that I was up on her feeding, and then also giving her a little extra calcium in her diet really helps. So this is a common thing that you will see with young growing gargoyle geckos. It is nothing to be alarmed about. Just making sure that you are providing them enough nutrients. The second reason is it's a female and she's producing eggs. This is another sign that you can tell, say they were paired, you had a male and female paired, and, a few weeks have gone by. If you start noticing her tail going wavy like that, be on the lookout for eggs. They might be already there, or they might be coming soon. Her body is taking as much calcium as it can to produce those eggs. So sometimes they will get a wavy tail right before they're about to lay. And that's also a really common thing with Chihuahua geckos as well. That's one of the ways you can tell that they're about to lay. Their tail will get a little bit wavy. It's nothing to be alarmed about, but you just want to make sure if that does happen, you do, again, supplement with calcium as well. So as long as you're up on their calcium and their nutrients, you won't have an issue with that. But especially with a breeding female, you have to make sure that you are offering as much powder diet and insects as well, and that she's getting all the nutrients that she needs. Remember, her body is using extra calcium to produce those eggs than it normally would be. So it's a very good time to make sure that you are providing another source of calcium that she can use. And the most common thing that you can do for that is just dust some insects. And if they don't take insects, mix a small amount of powder into their diet. The calcium powder, again, same thing, don't go overboard. Keep it simple, once a week, twice a week at the most, so you don't overdo it. Or liquid calcium. Just remember, if you use liquid calcium, it's super, super concentrated, so you have to be careful not to give them too much. So that's the second thing that you could do for a wavy tail, is if it's a female and she's about to lay eggs, or she has laid eggs, just make sure you're you're getting, I don't want to say power feeding because that's not like a healthy thing to do, but you're basically making sure that she has access to as many nutrients as possible for that. And then the third reason could just be dehydration. This is a common thing that you'll see when shipping an animal. Sometimes they are usually they are a little dehydrated when they get back. So it's important to make sure that you are, you know, giving them the opportunities to drink, whether that's through getting the moisture through their powder diets, or obviously just making sure that you're spraying them. If they are dehydrated and they haven't shipped, then that's a really big sign that you need to make sure that you are spraying them more consistently, or even a little heavier on the spray as well. But the two most common ones that you'll experience is growth spurts and a breeding female, or even not breeding and she's just going to lay her, you know, pair of duds. That happens as well. So just make sure you guys are on top of that stuff. It's something to look out for. Don't be too alarmed. It will fix itself with time. You just have to give it time. It's not going to go straight overnight. And most of the time with gargoyle geckos, it's pretty much unavoidable. You'll experience it at some point in their life. So as long as you're on top of that and you have the knowledge of what to do and what's the cause of it, then you'll be fine, and they're going to be healthy as well and happy, and you won't have to worry about any serious health conditions that come from it, as long as you're proactive about that and as long as you're making sure that you're providing the best care that you can for them. So hopefully this helps someone that may be experiencing it or has not experienced it yet, and you know, probably will experience it at some point if you're getting a young gargoyle. Just make sure you're on top of that stuff, and you will be perfectly fine, and so will the animal. So thanks for watching again, guys. This girl, at least she calmed down a little bit. She was, oh, and there she goes. So thanks for watching. And if you want to, just follow me on Instagram at RedRack. And if you ever want to reach out, just shoot me a message or shoot me an email, redrack@gmail.com, or I also have a Facebook page, but I'm not on there that much. So thanks for watching, guys.